Alright, today we have a time attack CRX. We need to wire up the boost control solenoid, wire the wideband into the ECU, and then we need to convert it over from 93 octane to E85. Currently it doesn't start and idle very well. I don't know, probably just needs a little adjusting on the map. I think just the base map or whatever, so no big deal there. Alright, so this is a Turbo B series, Hondata S300. What makes this one a little bit more interesting is it is a time attack car, so it needs to be able to go around a racetrack for extended periods of time, not just down the drag strip. And it is 12.5 to 1 compression with stock sleeves. So hopefully we can do all of this without shooting the crankshaft out of the bottom of it. Boost controller's mounted over here and ECU's over here, so just gonna run a couple wires over there real quick. So inside the car, the boost control is going to go to A11 for the ground side, A25 for the power side, and then the wideband is going to go to D14. You can't really see in here, so I'm just going to hook a couple wires up real quick. Alright, everything's all wired up. Let's test it, make sure I didn't screw anything up. Battery's dead. Hopefully you can hear it pulsing. Alright, I guess we'll drain the fuel, throw some E85 in it, and make sure it starts, runs, all that good stuff. And I don't think I'm going to have enough time to finish this today, so I might move the dyno forward, maybe. Yeah, I think I got another Honda coming next, so I'm going to move the dyno forward, get it set up on the dyno, hopefully get started on tuning it today, and then probably finish it up in the morning. Looks like the distributor is 20 degrees out too, so maybe we'll set the timing first. Yeah, let's throw some, or drain the fuel, throw some E85 in there. I feel like I have $100,000 in lines and fittings that I just used to drain gas tanks. I'm not really a big fan of fuel pumps being on switches. I prefer for the ECU to control it. This one is on the switch, and it's going to be super convenient for draining the tank, minus the dead battery. Sounds weird. Kind of sounds like a dog drinking water. Alright, we'll just let this drain and then throw some E85 in there, see if it'll start. Stinks. Alright, I'm going to try and start it now. It's got obviously the 85 in there. Change the fueling, change some idle settings, change a bunch of other crap. I don't know how well it'll start and run because it's all the fuel lines and stuff are still going to have 93 in it. And even when you drain the tank with the pump, there's still a little bit of residual 93 in there. So locally, most of the 85 has been testing about E70 because of all the stuff going on in the world, and then we have only 5 gallons of E85. So probably in, I don't know, the E60 range. So assuming it'll start and run, might have to give some throttle, keep it going, but we'll dial it in once it's up and going. So let's see what happens. So far so good. That was easier than I really expected. Just changed one fuel setting and then everything was up and running. So the fuel is definitely not quite as close to E85 as I'd like, but kind of is what it is. Now I'll move some stuff around, move the dyno, set it up on the dyno, and we can start tuning for real. The 5-volt output for the wideband doesn't seem to be working. If I had to guess, there was a couple of gauges that all had kind of the same output wires. I don't know, I probably somehow managed to grab the wrong one. So I'm going to check into that real quick. And hopefully I just got to swap one wire. Yeah. Yeah, so it turns out I'm just a moron. So everything's working now. Good to go. Probably not going to be able to fit a jack under that. Alright, got it all set up. Next problem is this hood is so flimsy. I'm pretty sure that the dyno fan is just going to rip it off the car. So I guess in an attempt to keep it alive, I guess I'll take that off and just set it off to the side. Better safe than sorry, I guess. So I actually don't physically fit in this seat. I can kind of like wedge myself down in there, but then my legs are so cramped together I can't move them and I can't like use the pedals and stuff. So I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do this. I almost need to like hire somebody that's super skinny for the day and make them drive it. Yeah, this should be interesting. Guess I forgot to mention it's right-hand drive too. Step 1. I'll go ahead and loosen this while I wait for my piece of junk computer to start. Everything's harder with one hand. It is it's illegal to put anything 13mm on a Honda. I have to call the FBI. No good. Timing's off as far as it looks like. It's probably going to idle a few hundred RPM higher now. Cold start seems to be right on the money. Fired right up, idles on its own, and it has no idle control valve, so it's super limited on what I can do for idle. But hell, I can't complain with that. So let it warm up, set the timing, and try to figure out how to get my ass in the seat. Alternator's not working. That might ruin everything. It's basically freaked everything out. Nothing works anymore. And so this isn't good. So I have 12 volts going to the trigger wire, but we do not have 12 volts going to the post. And we have 12 volts coming through the firewall. Oh, that'll do it. Awesome. I didn't really feel like changing an alternator, so I'll take care of that real quick. Alright, back in business, but check this out. I think we should definitely tune it with the lights out. This is awesome. Making some crazy noise coming from these big manifolds. Just happened to notice starter wires loose. Maybe that's contributing to some of the charging issues too. Alright, let's set the timing. I'm like sweating to death with a hoodie on and then freezing to death with a t-shirt on. I can't win. Still like 120, 130 degrees, so I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit, and then set the timing. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's smoking like crazy. Hopefully it's the turbo, not the motor. Fueling's pretty close. Voltage is working again. Idle is a little high, but since there's no idle control valve, it'll actually cold start like this. So on a Honda, a little bit higher idle RPM isn't a big deal, as to where like on a V8 car, especially in automatic, it becomes like super annoying. So we're gonna roll with this. I'm still not sure what's going on with that crazy whistling noise. It sort of sounds like the noise that sheet metal manifolds will make. Have a little leak somewhere. Fuel pressure's a little low too, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust that. Alright, this thing's too loud to talk over and too hard to get in and out of to kind of really show what's going on with all this part throttle stuff. But really it's pretty uneventful. Just holding the dyno at different RPM points and going through all of the cells in the map. But so far so good. It's actually running real good, responding to what I'm telling it to do. So I might just touch a little bit of that up, and then we'll start making some full runs or whatever, and I'll walk you through what's going on with that a little bit better. You ever seen a spark plug when you run octane booster? Our camera that won't focus, god damn it. They look rusty. It's kind of crazy. I'm not sure how well you can really see this, but it's like half of it. The thing won't focus worth a crap. It's like on the ground strap itself. So it totally explains the misfire. I haven't put enough load on it or even done anything with it really yet to cause anything like that. I do know that this thing popped a motor previously. I wonder if these are the plugs that came out of that motor. I don't know. Throw some new plugs in it and make a pass or two and see what they look like. It's kind of crazy. So while changing spark plugs, cut my shin off on that and my ankle off on that, but actually noticed that the turbo manifold is using 1¼ inch schedule pipe instead of the typical 1.5 inch. So it should help actually quite a bit with spool up in the low end, and I don't think at these power levels it'll affect anything top end, but it's pretty rare to see on a Honda. Alright, it's got new plugs in it. They're gapped to 18 thousandths, and I'm gonna make like a little baby pull and pull a plug or two and see what it looks like, because that's different. I've never seen anything like that before. That definitely seemed to clear up the misfire, as expected, I guess. Everything looks good there. Go ahead and pull them all out for the hell of it. That looks good. It's so hard to get in and out of. I'll just make the changes from this side of the car. So he's making about 10 pounds of boost. A little lean up top, got to take care of that. I wanted to try and throw a little timing in it on this run, but the fueling was leaner than I'd like up top, so I'm going to smooth that out. I mean, in theory, take some fuel out, probably drop a couple horsepower. So don't really know what the timing's doing. And I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, the fuel curve looks a little weird on this one. Another reason I'm just going to baby step into it. It's a whole lot of compression for stock sleeves, so I don't want to make any big errors and kill everybody. So let's try one more with the timing the same, changing the fueling, and the boost controller is completely turned off. So I'll try this now. Thing's doing pretty good on power. See, leaning it out, the white run like maybe was potentially going to make a little bit more power, but purple will keep the motor in the car, so we're going to roll with that. Timing basically did nothing, which is kind of surprising. I was expecting a little something. Plugs look good, so just going to take that timing back out and keep going. I don't know why I'm touching this like you can feel what I feel, but it almost feels like the thermostat might be stuck. It has like some super squishy hose for the radiator overflow, and it popped the hose out. You can see it's like not tight at all. I guess you can't see. So I don't know, this might be the end of the day for this one. I'll investigate a little bit further. Really, I just need to make like one or two more runs and I'd be happy. I let it run for quite a while. Everything seems okay. I think I'm going to make one more run with the boost controller turned on, and just throw it at like 40% duty cycle, which might make it go up 1 or 2 psi, and see if we can break 400 real quick and call it a day. But it's running good. So the coolant overflow tank doesn't have a vent in it. So even though there's nothing in there, there's just heat, so there's tons of pressure. So that's why that hose blew off, so that's good to know. So that was basically 1 more psi, 12 and a half pounds. I was watching the dyno screen, and it just, if I revved it higher, it would make way more power, but it's got stock sleeves in it. Hit the rev limiter pretty hard on that one, whoops. And then our injector duty cycle is still about 88% or so. So the 1 psi was really just for fun. And then here's the difference with the 1 psi. Looks pretty drastic on this. So this thing definitely wants to make power. Just need a bigger fuel system. And on that note, I'll take a little bit of video of the car and throw it here at the end, and I'm going home. See you guys later.